The Vietnam War has been described as a very long, costly armed conflict, primarily between communist North Vietnam and U.S.-backed South Vietnam.
Also known as the Second Indochina War, it occurred in Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia from December of 1956 to the fall of Saigon in April of 1975. More than 3 million people died. 58,000 of those were Americans killed in action. There are now nearly 7.5 million Vietnam veterans among us today, struggling not only with their memories of war, but with the dissension that it caused here at home.
Now, 40 years after serving in the Vietnam War, a local man and former Marine remembers those who didn't make it back. And on a recent trip back to the fields where he and his brothers fought, he found something surprising. And here to tell us about it is WBOC's Paul Butler. Paul, thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us about this amazing man.
Well, Harry Todd, he's from Harrington. He is also a former Marine. He's a wounded warrior, Purple Heart recipient. Just a great all-around guy. He, of course, served 40 years ago in Vietnam, did 2 tours, and he was an interrogator as a Marine. And I tell you what, he's just an amazing guy. Talked about his trip going back to Vietnam, and it was just amazing just sitting down with him, just the sense of humor he has 40 years after this war that many thought the United States lost.
Right. What would make him decide to go back to a place where there can't be a lot of good memories?
Exactly. And he'll tell you, first of all, that he really didn't at first want to go back. He said, do I really want to go back there? But he thought about it, and he talked with his wife and decided, yeah, I do want to go back. I do want to see what it's like now, 40 years later after the war.
Did he make the trip by himself?
He did not. He went with 9 other wounded warriors and veterans. And he said he went there by himself, but then he went with the 9 guys, made 9 new friends, and they had a great time there, seeing some of the old places that they went to, but also just making some new friendships along the way.
Did he recognize any of the places?
Yeah, he did. He said he recognized where he had his camp. Also, he recognized where they had the airstrip where they used to land 40 years ago. But he said that among some of the things he saw was just, you know, the beauty of the countryside that he remembered. He said it was always a beautiful place.
Now, there was one thing in particular that surprised him on his trip.
Right. That was. Do we want to keep that a secret for tonight?
I think we're going to make everyone.
We're going to keep that a secret for tonight at 11 o'clock. Yeah, there was one thing that surprised him when he went back, and we'll tell you about that tonight on the journey back to Vietnam on WBOC News at 11.
Paul, thank you so much.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Too. Well, there are other Vietnam veterans here on Delmarva whose long-awaited day will finally be here.
They will soon welcome to Delmarva what was once a big part of their lives. On Monday, Vietnam veterans from Kent County Chapter 850 are scheduled to dedicate this UH-1 Huey helicopter. The chapter acquired the helicopter in November. They've been getting it ready to display at the Kent County Veterans Memorial Park in Dover.
As you may already know, this is the model of helicopter that was heavily used during the Vietnam War, and it's very special to those in the military who remember it.
They've actually witnessed what those pilots did, the lives they've saved. I refer to it as a flying angel. It saved a lot of lives in Vietnam, and it removed a lot of soldiers that were killed in action.
The Huey dedication is scheduled for Memorial Day. That's Monday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon at the Kent County Veterans Memorial Park in Dover.
And there are other events taking place all over Delmarva on Monday to honor our veterans. There will be a Run to Remember 5K and Memorial Day ceremony at the Wicomico Youth and Civic Center in Salisbury. Race check-in begins at 6:30. The ceremony starts at 10.
11 o'clock, the veterans of Foreign Wars Post 7234 will host a Memorial Day service on the Bethany Bandstand in Sussex County to pay tribute to veterans. You are also invited to attend that service.
There will also be a Rockawakan Ruritan Memorial Day Chicken Barbecue. That takes place from 10 until 3 Monday afternoon at the Redmond Lodge on South Salisbury Boulevard.
Then Monday evening, a Memorial Day Gospel concert takes place from 6 to 8 at the Federalsburg Marina Park Pavilion that evening in Federalsburg. Parking and admission both free. Well, while we are talking about music, artists on Delmarva are not the only ones who are paying tribute to our nation's heroes.
In fact, country music superstars are taking part in an all-star salute to the troops tonight. Here's an early look.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn
it's very important for those of us who are here at home and have the platform. It's important for us to bring attention to those men and women that are making such great sacrifices. That's the reason we get to do what we do, all of us here at home, because of these men and women that stand ready to put themselves in harm's way for us.
Country music has always been just really into and respectful of and thankful for our troops.
I think it's amazing. I think that the fact that we get to team up with these men and women is absolutely brilliant. Because I mean, yeah, there's some unbelievably talented people.
You can have it all, but life keeps moving. Take it, but don't look down. Help us, I'm on top of the world.
Performing here is a dream come true. I think so many people in the military, we make those decisions to serve, and it's really awesome how things turn around and you still get to come back here. You don't have to give up on that dream just because you went towards another one.
This is an opportunity for me to play some of these little funny military songs that I wrote, that I play for the troops that we don't usually play on a normal show.
Call a Marine, yeah, call a Marine. Instead of 911, instead of 911. They're built to improvise, adapt, and overcome.
That song was fun. It was a great time, and I appreciate everything he does as far as going out, going to Iraq and Afghanistan. And I've been in Iraq when he came through, and so now to be on the other side of the fence, it's an incredible experience.
I'm just beside myself that we'll be getting to play with Lady Antebellum. They've meeting them and everything. They're extremely good people, you can tell, and so generous to let us share the stage with them.
To see the people that we do it for go so much out of their way and spend their time and their resources to be able to give back to us. It definitely reinforces that we've got a nation that is going out of their way to love us and support us just as much as we're doing for them.
Every back road in this town, I find a field, tear it up till all the pain's a cloud of dust. Yes, sometime.
And we're going to close the show with American Soldier for a salute to everybody.
To the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and the Coast Guard, me and my family salute you and thank you for your service.
And you can watch an all-star salute to the troops tonight at 9 right here on WBOC. And the patriotism continues throughout the summer here on Delmarva. Some of our military's finest are gearing up for the OC Air Show next month. We'll get an early look and find out why this show is so unique.
Well, there is certainly lots to do on Delmarva. And fellas, I cannot believe I'm about to say this, but bust out your best high heels. These guys know what I'm talking about. It's almost time for the annual high heel race. Find out why women and men are giving it their all across the finish line, and it is all for a good cause.
And once we work up an appetite, we're in the kitchen to take care of it. Today, we're making a shellfish medley. Delmarva Live, we'll be right back.